because I will. Probably. Even though I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream for, but hey. Is it working? Yes. Very good. So maybe we put some noise stuff in. Maybe we get that working with our little capsule monster guy. Where is that? It's an NPC. All right, here he is. Our base capsule man. Spooky guy. And so at least we can get some very, very basic kind of, get some legs on this guy. Not literally, but you know what I mean. Give him some perception. And then all is good. Because right now, all we have is him randomly moving around. Did I do anything? I think, no. In the other game that I was working on, where I tried out State Tree for the first time, I think they didn't have different states. They just had attack, if I remember correctly. I think. Maybe. Not certain. So maybe what we can do is get it so we have some of the hearing out of the way, so that if they hear anything, then they can walk towards a sound event. And then that way we have a little bit of the beginnings of that going. Now, how does aggression work in multiplayer? Does a monster just stay aggressive on the player that they're first seeing? Or do we maybe... I wonder... Do we make it so they just keep aggression, or do they swap aggression at any point in time? I guess that would be up to us, right? Up to us what kind of aggression swapping we want to do at any point in time. Like if maybe a player starts like hugging the monster or something in the distance, maybe then they swap aggression to that character. Well, let's maybe start with something. Something's better than nothing, right? He should be able to walk around if I just put him here. I might have to put some nav mesh here. Okay. All right, we got ourselves a nav mesh, which means once I spawn in, this guy should just start walking around. All right, sweet. Sweet. And he's going over there. Okay, so let's get perception in, which I think is going to be... do we want perception on the controller or on the pawn itself? I think on the pawn itself is fine. Okay, let me see if I remember how to do this. Okay, so the only one that we want to do is AI prediction sense? What is that? What is prediction sense? Sight I don't care for, because I feel like sight is annoying. And I think I'm just gonna make my own system for sight. So the only thing we need is hearing. Okay, hearing range 3,000 centimeters. I think that's more than fine. I should be able to now. Let's see. What am I gonna do to create a noise event? I guess maybe I get a button. Do I just make a button? Player still needs the doing AI senses component, right? I think you'd only need that if you're using the sight system. I think that would probably be the only moment for sight. Like you can hook up hearing, but I don't think it's yeah, we'll see what we end up doing. Because for sight, we're gonna do things a little differently. We're not gonna use perception for sight, we're just using it for hearing. For now. I don't think we're gonna use it for sight. Just because the problem with sight is like we could use sight. I don't know, we'll see. I feel like the last time I tried to use perception for the sight or seeing, I ended up completely redoing it in Suit for Hire. If I remember correctly, we completely redid it just because it was so difficult to try to wedge my way into let's do this, let's just spawn a bomb. It was so difficult to just wedge my way into the system. So here's what we'll do when this explodes. When this explodes, we'll call out a noise event. Yes. Right, Crunchy? Yeah, it's just kind of like whatever. Even hearing's not so bad, but ideally I think I'd probably want to put in some custom code for hearing as well. Is it on perception updated? Wait, which one was it? I think it's this one. I was watching Mario gameplay the other day and was envious how simple the enemies are. Just one massive hitbox, basically no AI. I think, if anything, that's a good, that's a good like indicator to show that you don't really need like crazy AI. You just need AI that is the enemy behavior should be enough to facilitate the video game, like parts of the video game. And that's how I see it, right? At its basic core, everything should go towards what is the video game, right? Because yeah, Suit for Hire, it was just like my first time doing it. I was like lost half the time. So yeah. Wait, isn't there a stimulus type? Oh my god, I remembered now. I gotta do it like this. Okay, well, we're only using this. Let's just see this. So let's just start with the bomb just to make sure that we have this all working. Here we want to report a noise event. The noise location is ourselves. Max range, let's do 3000. Tag. Explosion. Loudness 1. That's fine. So this should make it so he should receive a call to it. Unless he got too far away from it, which is highly probable. Let's move this over here. Hmm. Is it not target perception updated? I don't think it's this. Maybe AI perception is actually supposed to be on the controller. I forget where this is supposed to be placed. Let me look up a thing for this again. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-dee, Oh. Yep, AI controller. Okay, so this actually goes on the controller, which is currently tied to this one. I remember, I was like, wait, hold on. This might be somewhere else. Okay. We work on monster AI, doing bit by bit. Bit by bit. Doing a little bit here, doing a little bit. Because I should. I really should. Here we'll just print the type, which should just be hearing. It should literally just be hearing. That's not good. Here, Phoenix. Hold on, I have not had YouTube chat open this entire time. Wait, no, I have. Built-in AI systems in Unreal didn't work the first time. I'm so shocked. Maybe skill issue. Don't know. Let me see here. Access its properties. Damage. I don't understand what prediction is. This asks the perception system to supply the requester with predicted actors, predicted location, and prediction time seconds. What the fuck did you just say to me? What the hell? They just be saying shit. Oh, touch could also be good. I don't see that getting Too complex. It is on target perception updated, right? Okay. Um, I don't think there's any plugins we need to enable. So on perception updated. I'm kind of confused as to yeah, my main problem right now isn't even checking if it's hearing. My main problem right now is just receiving the call. Doing this whole fucking shabam again. I want to say it's maybe... might be the node. Why is the bomb not sending out noise event? Is it because it gets deleted? It's very probable that because it gets deleted so quickly. Yeah, detection by affiliation, I'm pretty sure is like maybe it's just enable all of these. Maybe it's just not receiving the noise event because it's not, those aren't all ticked. Aha, okay. I don't even know how you can set these in a noise event. Like, how do you set the affiliation in a noise event? Like, I don't think they ever expanded upon this ever. Like, I'm pretty sure this never has ever been expanded upon. Like, this doesn't even work. All right, well, so it was detection by affiliation. That was that issue. So now we're receiving the calls, so that's not an issue. Let me check what kind of object it is receiving. Just regular AI sense hearing. We're gonna actually start working with that because if we're gonna have multiple things like touch, etc., we're probably gonna want to do this. Okay. I think detection by affiliation only works in C++. Would that be worthwhile to do in the future? Other monsters, spotting other monsters? Do we care for that? Might be something to consider for the future. All right. Now, what is a good way to send that stimulus information to our state tree? This is going to go through quite a few iterations, I think. This is definitely going to go through quite a few iterations. How did we do it in Suit for Hire? I think what we did is we set for sound stimulus. Should just open up the code, to be honest. For sound stimulus, I believe we set a target location, and that defined when something was sent. I don't know if we called any like events to the state tree. We could always just call events to the state tree. I'm sure you could call events to a state tree. Wanted to. I respect that you're doing AI stuff in multiplayer game, way above my head with multiplayer in general. So in our case with Unreal, all of the AI runs on the server. The only thing you kind of need to do from there is just, which is already replicated, is replicate the location of the monster, which it is already replicated. So when you call like an aggressive state, an aggression state, and it starts moving towards a player, like the players are already going to receive that because the server is just running that code under the hood. So I don't think it's like too difficult. Obviously, I think the problems come in is when you start doing really complex gameplay stuff like attacks and things like that. Like that'll, you know, making sure like that feeling synced and feeling fair and whatnot, right? That's going to be part of the challenge. I think for this game, it'll be relatively easy in nature because there's nothing like, it's not like the next game that I would make, which is probably more action oriented, which would have like pairing and shit like that. Like that could, now that could get pretty gnarly, I think. That could get pretty hefty. Okay, so an aggression state. We need to send a target location to the state tree. In traditional behavior tree, which is what I've done before, we just set a blackboard key. When it comes to state tree, how do I send a variable to state tree? Do I just... Can I just call the state tree? And then set a variable within the state tree? Doing polish with sound effects, VFX, etc. I'm only showing on one client, couldn't figure it out for a while. Yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of client prediction stuff that's going to be really fun to figure out. And by fun, I mean I am ready to go bald because I will be ripping my hair out. Never seen state trees? Is it new? It's in UE5. It's a new thing in UE5, but it's been since UE5 3? 5.4? I use the evaluator class in my state tree, and the evaluator has an event dispatch listener for perception events. Ah. The evaluator class. Let's take a look at that. The evaluator. Right here, this one, right? Evaluators. So that is, what is that considered? A task? A consideration? A condition? I think I had this open somewhere. I've had this window open, I shit you not, for weeks now. This shit has been open for weeks. I've had this window open for a long time. Okay, so evaluation. Okay, hold on. Actually, this is a good thing to look at. Open the... So there's danger here and then peaceful. Is it an experimental plugin or 1.0? I actually think it is out of beta now. I think it's like, I think production ready. I think State Tree is. Let me double check. I'll double check for you. It is, yeah, it's in 1.0 now. Or 0.1, according to this. But it doesn't say beta next to it, and it's not experimental anymore. I'm pretty sure this is like something they're actually using a lot more of. And so far, in my brief knowledge of it, when we used it for the past project, I actually prefer this way of working, and also the things that this provides is super sick versus behavior trees. I find this to be a lot more promising than dealing with behavior trees. I didn't really like behavior trees, to be honest. Creating reactive behavior using perception. I see. I wonder if this is going to go into when a critical behavior for life respond on blah 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 blah. Updating to include perception. Okay. This is, I'm going to assume, the AI character. Also, good thing in state trees that every state can bind to the variables that you name output in the group. Dude, there's so much cool stuff in here. Like, for example, I made this state tree task called get random move location. You can put things inside of categories. For example, context, and you can call it pawn reference. Pawn reference will automatically attach itself to a context actor class right here. So you don't have to keep doing a cast to and all this stuff everywhere. Instead, you just simply tie to pawn, and it will automatically, once you put it into here, it's going to automatically tie itself to this. And you can set this to any blueprint that you want. I think that is awesome. If I were to guess, I could probably set this to the actual pawn class, like our actual base pawn. And I'm sure it would probably tie to the context actor as well. But that one part is really, really sick. Yeah, I really like that. That's like one example of something that's really, really cool. There's a bunch of other stuff as well that's, I think, really, really handy. Use Logic Driver Pro to basically animation blueprints, but for blueprint logic, pretty neat plugin. Interesting, interesting. I think I've seen... I'm pretty sure I've seen Logic Driver Pro. That sounds very familiar. Okay, we're not doing site, but that's fine. There isn't a way in Blueprint to configure the team agent interface used by the person. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I don't need this part. Just want to see how they're receiving the perception calls. So, transitioning to the danger state. Where are transitions called? Oh, I see something. They're using an on event. Oh, shit. I'm thinking setting the transition for entering danger. It could reasonably be placed on any of the leaf states, but that means setting up a duplicate transition on each of the leaf states of the AI should be able to go to danger regardless of the specific action it's taking. There's a prime candidate for using an intermediate state to host the transition. Placed on peaceful and triggered during any of its child states, the state will be active for all. Select the peaceful state, add a new transition on the state and change the trigger to be on event. The on event transition trigger will listen for a state tree event with a specified event tag. This process is part of trigger trend. Blah, 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 blah. Specify a new gameplay tag to be used that is state tree wildlife danger. They really, Unreal loves gameplay tags. They fucking die by this shit. They absolutely love gameplay tags. And honestly, yeah, I respect it. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I respect it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I respect it. I get it. Using perception sense to send state tree events. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, this could be one way of doing things. We could do a separate noise event here. This could be can I wrap this? How are they structuring their state tree again? Let me see this. Danger, flee, assess situation, peaceful. So is that just a state? And then we put the state under this. So this could be called the roaming. This is just roaming. Let's change the color. Oh shit, how do I change it? Aha, default color. This will be unaggro, which will be green. Then we'll do what would we call it when they hear a sound effect? Or let's just call this passive. Passive. What would the middle word be called? It's not aggressive. It is cautioned, I guess. No, not cautioned. There's a better word for this. What's that called? When like a alert? Yeah, alert. I like that one. Alert. Alert. Yes, that'll be orange. And then aggressive will be in red. So this is like attack state. Like they saw a player and now they're going to attack. We should be able to change this to passive. That's really green. That is extremely green. So now we want another state called alert. Also, the guide that you're reading is a little outdated. The state tree events that you call can also have custom payload structs. Oh, don't fucking use that word payload. Just reminds me of a gameplay ability system. Let me guess. Can I? Is the payload struct designed in such a way where I can change the payload struct in C++ and I can have my own custom payload structs? He's having PTSD. At some point, I need to learn all this stuff. But listen, it ain't right now, okay? This shit still confuses me to this day. Even though I kind of got into it a little bit more. This is a struct, no object or anything else. I still don't understand how payload structs work. I know from what I remember in GAZ, they made it in such a way where you can modify the payload base struct and have your own custom struct, and you just put everything in there. Is this the same case with state tree? Bro's gonna be 50 saying, if only I learned gas. Well, I have to, well, I will have to learn gas at some point. Don't get me wrong. For like, if I want to go back to Ronin, I will probably have to regrettably dive into gas. Gas. Sorry, I don't know. I haven't looked into Gaz that much. I see. It's all good. Have you seen the new John Wick game announcement? Yeah. I just want to see the gameplay, man. I know they showed like in-game shots or in-engine shots, but like to me, that's just not enough. They're just execution animations. I want to see what the gunplay looks like and stuff. I instantly thought of you when I saw that. No, I think it's cool, man. I think it's sick. I think there's going to be some people that are out there is like, aren't you scared your game won't do well anymore? It's like, what? What do you mean? What the hell do you mean? How am I going to send this move location? Okay, hold on. I want to see. So when they have a perception, how are they sending that information? Oh, you could use the payload. They're playing your game as a reference? I am very curious to see what they do. It is from the same developers. I would assume it's probably a very similar development team as the ones that worked on Space Marine 2. I would not doubt they brought in some of the developers from that team on over to there. Like maybe some of the combat people. Space Marine 2 has some execution animations, doesn't it? So I could see them bringing some of their animators as well. Which version of UE5 do you guys find more stable to actually commit to? Honestly, I feel like UE6, UE 5.6 has been pretty good. UE 5.7 just had another patch, but I don't know how stable it is. So you're saying the send state tree event can have a payload. How does that work? You're right. I see Gas in chat. I missed something. Gas is OP. Dude, it's just so complicated to learn. At least, like, I was able to get into it a little bit, but still not perfect. So I need to understand how payloads work, because even with Gaz, I was fucking confused. How to... Let's say I wanted to put my own custom struct into this. How would that work? Get up, Tay. Instance struct. What does a instance struct provide me? Because if I just do this... It's a node? What the shit? What the... What is this new world I've never seen before? What is this? Oh, what? I'm doing good, Tay. How are you? Interesting. So, wait a second. So the payload can literally be anything? Okay, next question. What black magic are we conjuring today? We're doing a little bit of perception, AI perception, enemy behavior perception. Dude, I can't even use terminologies anymore. It's AI, whatever. In our case, it's AI behavior, okay? They ruined our language. Yeah, doing a little bit of perception stuff, so then that way we're slowly making a little bit of progress on our characters, a little bit like the monsters and stuff. We got to do a little bit of that, Let me copy this and move it here. Move to location. So what I'm wondering is, can I read from that payload information instead of us getting a random location? We need to bind the destination. So, how do we actually send that payload? An event to the running state tree. Let's see if we can maybe... Defines the event required to be present during state selection for the state to be selected. Okay. And then in the payload struct, I could just select the vector 3F. And then it's spitting out those values. Can I read that value in the move to here now? We need to somehow spit out this payload. This is a plugin. No, this is part of base UE. So we spit out a vector 3F as the event payload. I wonder if this can read from it. So the next question is, how do we... We just have to read from each value manually. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, this shit's sick. Although it's very confusing because it's like... Do I do this? Parameters? Wait, so how do we make these three values read from the actual X, Y, and Z here? Is that just gotta delete that? I'd like to delete this, please. I guess this is already tied to the values. That is super, super sick. So we need to create a new tag for this before I continue. This is going to be, let's create a new one. What terminology do they use? I kind of like their tag state tree. Okay, good. Yeah, I like that. State tree. Monster dot sound alerted. Sound alerted? Sure. Yeah, sure. Sound alerted. You must specify source file. Don't do this to me. Origin is going to be... I guess we'll just copy what they did. I don't think it matters much, the origin. Maybe it's sending that information to the payload here. No, it doesn't even send that information here, but that's okay. So now we have a tag. Very cool. Okay. Crim fell off. He uses AI now. AI now. Unbelievable. You guys can stop watching the stream immediately if I start using AI. So now from roaming, we have to set a transition from this on event, and then in the required event, we can do sound alerted. Do I have to specify the payload that it's also receiving? Or do I just have to do the tag? And then we want to transition to alert. And the priority is critical. I think using AI is fine. It's the matter of AI is doing all the work while you just type in prompts. I don't know anymore. I just think using it at all. I'm just in a state where I'm now like unreasonably kind of like I don't care for it. Just because of the nature of how much it's consuming the world. Okay, so now we just need to see if this actually moves to the explosion location. You should immediately run to the bomb. I can't really tell if he is. He just started. I don't really know. I don't think. You know. I don't. You can debug the states. Yeah, that's true. What was it? Hold on. How you doing, Cat Pie? Oh, yeah, he just moves to alert. But where is he moving to? I think he's moving to 000, guys. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I think he just moved to 000. Guys, I think the destination is not correct. This payload information. Maybe vector 3F is not the right payload value. Is there a different vector? No, it's not location. I'm pretty sure it's just vector. Unless it is location. There's a payload get actor location state. You never set the values in the payload. Ah, right. Yeah, good catch. Forgot about that part. So how do I set values? Ah, yes. Of course. Of course. So how do I set... I suppose. Okay. So that's the hearing location, the stimulus location, if I remember correctly. Good, good call, good call, good call. Very good call. All right. Good call. So he should walk right here. Maybe... Hold on. Now he's not receiving the call. Is this the right way to set the instance struct value? Am I doing that correctly? Did I set a transition event in the state tree? Yes. On event, go to alert. Would it be set member? No, for an instance struct, I have never used this before. So I don't really know. And maybe we have to do a vector 3D rather than a vector 3F. I'm not actually sure what kind of type this is. Vector. There's no like just vector. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm stupid. Never mind. I'm dumb. I'm dumb and stupid. It was at the very top. I've received new information. It's at the very top. Does that mean I can just... Well, I think that's still fine. Let me try resetting this. Just in case I don't, like, break anything. Okay, vector. Yeah, this is just sending X, Y, and Z out. Probably because it's just a struct. Let me see if I can set it. Nope. Well. Alright. If you say so. Alright, now. Now. Huh? Okay. Wait, hold on. He's currently in roaming. Now he's in alert. And it looks like he ran straight to it. Oh, we are so in. Okay, hold on, hold on. Everybody hold on. What if I place another boom, but at 9 seconds? This is sick. This is great. Okay. Then he's going to immediately run to the other one. Or maybe he's going to run to that one first. It's interesting. He's ignoring the other one. You know, I guess he's not able to re-transition and reset to the other payload. Maybe because he already read the thing. Yeah, right now it's just being used for the wrong reasons and sets around it. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we're not able to transition back to alert when we receive a new event. So let's see. Maybe we do on event. Again, the same information. Right? Same information, transition right back to alert. You do medium. Payload struct, I'll just put none. I don't think it's necessary. Make a new event to cancel the current event? Right, that's what I'm thinking. So if we do a transition from move to location back to alert, that will then send that payload information back down to the move to location. Okay. That could work as a way of replacing. So, alert. And then alert again. Okay. Let's try that again, though. What's this late stream? I don't even know. Don't ask any questions. It's not question hour. I don't know when that is. Come back later. And he canceled his... he canceled his move to location. All right. He just broke. I don't know what happened to him. His mind just broke. Making multiplayer games 2 times harder than single player? Don't get me wrong, making multiplayer games is harder, but I do feel like there is a little bit of rhetoric, is that the word I'm looking for? Rhetoric out there that makes it seem a lot harder than it is. That being said, I think it really comes down to what kind of game you're making. In my scenario with the friendslop game, it's not like I'm making like mechanics like Suit for Hire, for example. I think that would probably make things a lot harder. But don't get me wrong, it does add complication. It does make the project a little bit more complicated. It does make things a little bit more, you know, not easy. You know, there's more layers. It's like an onion. You know, you guys ever see Shrek before? Yeah, it's like an onion. There's more layers to each problem that you solve. Suit for Hire multiplayer update next week. Dude, I don't think Suit for Hire would make sense in multiplayer. I'm just saying. With all due respect. My friend could play as John Wick's dog. That's true, he could. What if you just RP'd that in real life? Think about it. Can't believe the John Wick game is ripping off Suit for Hire. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. With Keanu? Oh! Dude, hell yeah. Did you hear the new Fool EP on Monster Cat? Honestly, I've just completely just stopped listening to Monster Cat, I'm gonna be honest. Wait, John Wick game? How did I miss that? Yeah, they revealed it during Sony's State of Play. Fool is actually good. I'll check it out. I'll put it on my listening list. Yeah, all they kind of set the stage for the most part. It's just like a teaser trailer, like, hey, Keanu's in the game, there's executions, it's probably in third person, you know what I mean? Like, they kind of set the beginning stages of it, but they haven't shown much gameplay of it. I'm like, I want to know what the gunplay looks like. That being said, it's from Saber. I'm imagining probably same developers, or at least some of the developers brought on from the Space Marine 2 team, so I think it'll probably be very promising. Probably a very promising project. Hell yeah. Though, I'm going to be honest. I want to work. I do kind of, like, once this game is done, like, don't get me wrong, I'm still thinking about this game because I love working on this game. I'm having such a blast with it. But I am kind of, I'm like, planning in my head, visualizing what Ronin would look like in multiplayer with some semblance of some, you know, elements from Suit for Hire, obviously. Stuff that I would have liked to do, but it didn't do. That'd be sick. Obviously, it would be a big technical challenge, though. Thank God I'm doing this first. Can you imagine if I started working on Ronin next with co-op and all these like things that I wanted to do, like physics-based combat and whatnot? Or like enemies having physics? Being able to throw them around a little bit more reactively. Okay, so the alerted sound system is working. Very good. So this is like the beginnings of some behavioral stuff. That's pretty sweet. This does, however, mean that we now have to remember to report any noise events whenever a noise event needs to occur. This is a new game or a new chapter of a game? This is a new game. This is not Suit for Hire. This is a game with a toilet. There's a toilet involved. Yeah. There is indeed a toilet involved. And a plunger. Yeah, there's a plunger involved. Yeah. There is also a fire extinguisher involved. It's kind of a staple at this point. Suit for Hire had a fire extinguisher. What happened to the train map? It's still here. You mean this one? That's just the test map where I test things. Uh-oh. Jovix? Late stream. You know what's so funny is now we're like... Oh yeah, there was a bug that I found. Whenever you spawn an item, it just immediately breaks. Look at this shit. Did that bomb just open the door? Yes. It impulses any physics around it, so... This could be another bomb. Oh, it's nothing. It's a whole lot of... It's a whole lot of nothing. Getting launched by the bomb is quite fun as well.
Shit my pants, I did.
None of these have the bomb in them. Rookie, thank you for the prime.
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you. Oh, this could be the bomb. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way it looks. Really? Are you kidding me? I'm really happy with the way it looks when you get launched. For a second, I thought that the Sifu devs were making the John Wick game until the Saber's name showed up. Yeah, it's not the Sifu devs. I think a lot of... I saw a few YouTube comments where people are like, oh my god, it's Sifu, but John Wick. It's like... I don't know. I actually don't think Sifu level of melee combat is actually healthy for a John Wick style game. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you don't want that. You'd want it to be a little bit more simpler, especially considering that you have gunplay involved with it as well. At least that's my perception. That's how I would treat it. I feel like a John Wick game should be first person. I disagree. First person, you end up like, you lose out entirely on the gun fu, in my opinion. Like, you don't see all of the execution moves at all. You lose out on all of that, and you don't even see your character anymore. It's kind of like a... I know some people ask for first person for Suit Fire, but I feel like it just doesn't make sense. First person gunplay and third person melee, but it can switch. I just don't think there's any point in that. Huh? Smooth sync crashed. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't... Yeah. Sifu style fighting can work if guns are only finishers and similar to throw weapon functions. Do you know how pissed off people would be if you make a John Wick game that's all about guns and you can't even shoot the gun except for it being in executions or finishers? Here's John Wick in first person. Oh, I saw this game. I have an even better one for you. I think I liked it on Twitter. I think I liked it on Twitter. There's a dev who's making like a first-person game, and it's sick. Where's my bookmarks? I think I bookmarked it. Yeah. This developer is doing some cool shit. Oh, he just released a new video. Yes. This developer's making some cool stuff. I think this is first person. You can grab onto enemies, you can dive around. You can like grab enemies, kick them. Reminds me of Trepang 2. Kind of Trepang 2, but I feel like it's a lot more... I feel like it's more grounded. It's so sick. Hold on, wait. Which one? I saw this one as well. Oh my god, that's loud. Jeez. I hope the limiter, the compressor worked there. Oh no, this is a different clip. This, I think, is okay in first person, but the thing is... saved by limiter? Hell yeah. It doesn't have executions. That's what I mean. If you don't have executions in your game... Unless it's like Doom style. But then you don't... I feel like it just doesn't feel very gun-fu over the top. The executions become more of a gameplay element in the sense that it's like not really for style, but it's more like you're just fucking shit up. Yeah, this looks cool. Which one is which one was the clip that I saw that I thought was pretty sick? It's one of D's nuts. Yeah, you guys gotta check out this developer. He has some cool shit. I think it was this one. You can grab onto an enemy and then slam their head into a wall. Yeah, this was the one that I saw. And then when you do a slide, you could do like an uppercut kick or whatever. This is probably, if I were to make another game that was like Suit for Hire, but first person, it would probably be within the realms of like this. Yeah, I think this is super sick. Now that I'm looking forward to. I think that looks sick. The new Control game is doing its job. The new Control game is like, it's interesting because it's within the same realm and universe. But it is very different gameplay wise. It almost reminds me of like, fuck, what was the... It's Second Son, but what was the word before that? Unleashed Second Son? No. It's, something Second Son. It reminds me a lot of that, with like hack and slash almost. Infamous, yeah. Or like Prototype, I guess. Which is pretty cool. I kind of like the change up. But I gotta say, I really did like... I did like the combat of the first Control. I thought it was very cool. It almost felt like you were a Jedi, but in this like very SCP-esque kind of world. But it's cool. I think it's sick. Some really cool ass games coming. I think the John Wick game looks a little off. Let's take a look at the trailer again. Let me look at the trailer again. I think I have the link somewhere. Okay, I found it. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Control 2 is just bad news. I'm afraid it's gonna be like Remnant. I don't know. Only time will tell, I suppose. I knew the instant I saw this and then started hearing the music, I was like, oh, I see. What are you trying to make? Minecraft.
A man with your skill set must be able to move unconstrained, unrestricted.
Something is off, is too soft or something?
He must be versatile, capable, adaptable.
I think it's just the like... I don't know if I would say soft. So my question is, right, okay, they haven't shown any, like, they showed gameplay at the end. Are they going to allow you to, or is it just going to be a static execution or something where you just push a button and the guy does the thing? Or am I going to be able to actually choose to pick up the pan and do something with the pan? You know what I mean? Like those are impactful things to me personally.
He must be grounded, stable, constant.
And then grappling. That's such a big part, in my opinion, as well, is the grappling. That's a huge part that I just was not able to, like, really do much of for Suit for Hire because I just didn't have the skill set. But I feel like grappling should be a really big part. Being able to grab onto an enemy, then move in different ways with that enemy, in my opinion, are, like, huge.
Sir.
Yeah.
And then gameplay in quotation marks. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Impact sounds are a little lacking. Yeah, they definitely gotta get some punchy stuff in there. Gotta get it real punchy. Time will tell. Right. I'm just curious what the gameplay looks like, man. Ooh. Oh yes. Oh yes. I'll check if they have an aiming state in the trailer. They can't put a shooting game that's all about guns and not have shooting in the game. They can't. They can't. It can't. Can a sequel might honestly be my favorite announcement from the show? I never really checked out the first game, so I don't really have too much, you know, like into the thing. That being said, I just don't play that many games, honestly. I'm more so excited to see other games and watch people play them, like streamers and whatnot, which, you know, friendslop, perfect game for that, honestly. The trailer shows only hand-to-hand combat. In the gameplay only shows executions, which it shows environmental executions, contextual ones, which is cool. So that means you can do executions at specific spots in the level. And you know, they'll do those actions at those spots. So that's cool. But yeah, we don't see any gunplay gameplay wise. We do see gunplay or like gunplay in the cinematic. So I would assume that like, there's no way they would not put gunplay. I'm just curious what the gunplay is going to look like. Are they gonna pull off a bunch of physics stuff like GTA style? What's the physics engine? I say that loosely. The whole concept of like every spot that you like, that's, I think big things I would say if I were to work on Suit for Hire 2 or something would be a lot more advanced grappling. Being able to grapple an enemy to the floor, utilize them on the floor while shooting other enemies, and then execute the enemy on the floor or whatever. Being able to push a grappled enemy around, do different states with them. I think grappling is a big one, right? I feel like that's so integral into like the martial arts of John Wick. A lot more physics-based stuff with enemies. Like if you threw an object at an enemy and they were near like a railing, if you threw it hard enough, they should like fall off the railing, things like that. I just wasn't able to do that for Suit for Hire. I just don't know how I would. I won't be shocked if John Wick game is going to be like Hellblade 2. No, that would be a big fumble. I think they specifically picked Saber Interactive because of the way that they approached Space Marine 2. I would not doubt that they specifically wanted the developers, or some of the developers from Space Marine 2. Oh, this could be a bomb. Damn it. I just want to see, I want to see again what it looks like. John Wick Hex sequel in disguise. Can you imagine how pissed off people would be? Oh, holy moly. Can you imagine how upset people would be? That would piss off so many people. No, I don't think so. You know, it actually it could still be, by the way. It could actually still be a John Wick's Hex style game. It could be an XCOM style game. Dude, how are none of these a bomb? How are none of these bomb? The executions we saw could just be, you know, executions that you see, they're just really cinematic, you know? Like, wow. We've been lucky and unlucky, technically. Maybe I just spawn a bomb in the train rather than trying to find one in a fucking luggage. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna do that. I just want to literally see what it looks like when we get launched by Ragdoll again. I want to see if there's any work we need to do to that. Yeah, honestly, I think it looks good. I think it looks great. We need some like on-screen effects. Maybe when you blow up and get launched, maybe your HUD elements disappear for a bit, almost like you've like lost your senses. They like scramble a little bit. Maybe we have like, we need some like on-screen effects or something. Did I make a bimb? No, I have a thing in a video game. It's a Christmas ornament. Alright, cool. Did I Google? No, I did not. Are you trying to bait me into getting put on a list? I think you're trying to bait me into getting put into a list. So, perception hearing is at least in its basic form in the game. So, actually, what I'm wondering... You know, I'm pretty sure he should be able to cross the doorways, so that's not an issue. Can you make it so when the bomb blows up, there's a 1% chance of this happening? Oh my god. Is that actually in the game? That's not in the game. Is that in the game? Oh, it's a mod. I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Okay, what's the next part of the game that we gotta do? Have you seen the Nicolas Cage Spider-Man trailer? Dude, it looks good. It looks pretty good, I ain't gonna lie. I'm actually kind of excited to see... I'm actually kind of excited for it, I'm not gonna lie. What's this? Cock of War. Yes, dude. Yes. Yes. Dude, hell yeah. Wish I had some devs to work with on making a game. Oh, you know, there's like, you know, there's Reddits, subreddits you could go to, and Discords, find some like-minded people. There is always like-minded people to look for. So we'll need an aggro state. We only have the alerted state. We'll need an aggro state, and then they have to keep track of which monster they're aggroed to. Or not monster, which player they're aggroed to. And then... yeah. Fun times. Let's do something else today, though. Or let's do something else right now. The toilet clog maintenance task. Should we maybe get started on the next maintenance task? What's next on the chopping block? We can make this yellow. Piss yellow. Piss yellow. You should start on adding the divine bomb. All right. Don't get ahead of yourself, okay? A window that's accessible becomes dirty and a player needs to clean it. Fuck, man. Dude. I feel like the cleaning minigame should be like, you gotta like clean the window. Like you gotta clean the whole thing. And maybe we use like a render target and you gotta like, you know what I mean? Like actually clean it. That could be kind of fun. How do we do that? Do we make it like a masked plane and we put the plane on a window and then that's the way that we do dirtying up windows? And then as long as you get 90% of it clean, then it's clean? Yeah, the Nicolas Cage Spider-Man trailer actually looks so good, dude. I have not seen... I feel like I haven't seen a Nicolas Cage movie in such a long time. I would actually go to theaters for that one, I think. And considering it's made by the people that made Spider-Verse, I would assume that it's the same people, same writers, right? Oh, it's a series! Oh, you're right. I just remembered that. Is it coming out on Disney Plus? No, it's Netflix, isn't it? Was it Netflix or Disney Plus? Prime. Okay, none of them. None of them in my list. I forgot. Dude, I was watching it. I remember. You just reminded me. I was reminded that it's actually a series. Why can't it just be a movie, man? Why can't it just be a movie? I love the noir style anyway. It's awesome. They're releasing 2 versions, both in color and proper noir. Let's be real. We know that Zoomers aren't watching that shit in noir, but like, I could see myself watching both. Like, I actually could see myself watching both versions. Make a lot of stuff for iRacing, but would love to branch out. Gotcha. Well, I'd say, you know, try doing some stuff. Maybe you might release some stuff on Twitter and stuff. You might find... I think the best way of finding people is you get started on something and then other people get interested in the things that you show off and whatnot. You know what I mean? Okay, I really want to do the window cleaning task because we could make it so you have to like wipe your whole hand across it, and then like that's how you're cleaning it, is you're just like scrubbing the dirt off the window. What do you guys think? I think that would be fun. Maybe. Hold on, I need to see what the other windows look like because I forgot. Is this the one with windows? Fuck. Let me see. Nope. Is this one? Is this the one? That's pretty accessible. Could you see, like, we go over here. Although, I could see people getting really annoyed at moving their whole mouse around a bunch to clean it. Just make the sponge huge. Oh, I guess a sponge appears on the screen. We could do that. Do we just make a sponge appear and then you're actually doing physics and you're just dragging the sponge around? Yeah, you're onto something. I like what you're thinking. Okay, so okay, hold on. I'm trying to think here. Okay, so we need a render target. We need to replicate the render target. An array of X and Y positions, which could be the spots that players have cleaned. However, I could see that becoming very gnarly very quickly. How else? Yeah, I think that's the only way we could replicate cleaning the window in multiplayer. Also, I just had an idea. What if we make it so 2 players could clean a window at the same time? We need multiple sponges for each client. So we might have to make it so it's like if you start facing the window, a sponge appears. And then every client that it goes to it, a new sponge appears for them. Ay, ay, ay. This idea might have huge consequence. Maybe we just don't have a sponge. Fuck the sponge. Although sponge would be fun. Sponge is fun time. We love sponge. The John Wick game is official canon to the story? Oh shit. I feel like the game is taking place in his prime. I feel like it would take place during his prime. Allow players to use other players' corpses as sponges. Okay, calm down. Okay, let's not get too crazy here. Oh, they're working... Oh. Yep, third person. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Pretty sick, dude. Pretty sick. All right, let's go to the test level. Okay, as much as I like Justice, I don't think this is the music to make a window cleaning mechanic too. We needed something different. We need something to create. We need something else to create window cleaning mechanic too. Now, what is that mix? I don't know. How about Boneworks? How about Boneworks? Thoughts? Okay, so let's just get a very basic form of this down. First, let's turn it into a maintenance task. Okay, let's see here. Window cleaning. All right, window cleaning. So, we're gonna want a plane for this. And I'm probably don't want to stretch it. I was thinking of stretching it to be wider, but probably a good idea to not do that. Or maybe I just don't give a shit. Maybe it's fine. Fuck it. Let's first start with drawing. Let's get it so we can draw on the plane. First and foremost, we make it so we can draw on the plane. For that, we need a button press. We need a button press that holds. It needs to be a hold action. Well, if we have the sponge, we would just be holding the sponge, right? Oh, shit. Now, do we make it an item that you have to have in your inventory? No, I was thinking, so what I was thinking is, like, once you appear here, a sponge just appears in here. But should we have it as an inventory item? I don't know. Maybe we do make it as an inventory item. Because then, if we make it as an inventory item, we can make a fun little thing where you can, like, take your sponge and clean your friend or something. Because we could make it so maybe it's not just window cleaning. An inventory item would be cooler. You could use it for other stuff. Right, that's what I'm thinking. So then that, because the window cleaning, the thing with the window cleaning is that it's technically not a priority task. For some reason I cannot. Okay, for some reason that's the x-axis is up and down.
Okay, all right. That makes no sense, but okay.
How am I going to do the cleaning area of effect? We're going to use a render target. And that render target, we're going to paint on it, essentially. Okay, well, we need to make a sponge. We need to make a sponge item. Well, let's just quickly model a quick sponge. Which is just a cube. But let's make it a little bit more fancy. Let's do one of them cubes that look like a peanuts. It looked like a peanut. Yeah, the one that looked like a peanut. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The one that looks like a peanut. The one that looked like a peanut. Squeaky sounds? Oh, you fucking know it. We're gonna add some squeaky sounds to this fucker. Okay. Yes, peanut sponge. It is I, peanut sponge. Should I bevel these edges? Okay, we don't need that anymore.
What?
Give it a soft body and a very slow inflate. Okay, okay. Are you crazy? Carve a smiley face into it like Sponge Daddy? I'm pretty sure that's copyrighted. I am pretty sure that is copyrighted. Probably within my best interest to not do that. For the safety of me and this game. Yes, they probably copyrighted a smiley face. Listen, man, the world is fucking cruel these days. A sad face, then? They probably just copyrighted any faces. They probably have like a whole trademark. Face inside of sponge or cleaning device. All right, we got ourselves a sponge, baby. Got ourselves a sponge. It's a big boy. It's a big sponge. Maybe a little bit smaller. little not so big. Give it arms so it looks like it's hugging the glass. That's psychotic. That's psychotic. Yeah, that's psychotic. But I kind of like the idea. But then if we add arms, then the arms need physics. This is going really poorly. Maybe not. If we give it arms, then it needs... yeah, we can't do that. We can't do that. The arms are a no-go. I want to see holes in that sponge. I don't know about that. Oh, God. Are we going to have to do a soft body for this shit? Oh, no. This shit's going to be so fucked. Cleaning sponge. Cleaning sponge. All right, export. Am I going a little over my head on this task? Yeah. We have fun in these parts. Or maybe pain. I guess this is more so pain than fun. All right, cleaning sponge, put you in. No model for you yet. No model for you yet. So you are going to just be the usable color. There you go. Look at you. You look good. Okay, now we need to make an item for him, and then we also need a blueprint for him, and then we need to check if you're holding left click, and if you're holding left click, then we place the sponge wherever you're sponging. Sponging. Wherever you're sponging, we click. All is good. Yes. How are we going to do this? Don't talk to me right now. I don't want to talk about it. I literally don't know. I quite literally do not know. Let me see the fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher has a smooth sink. Let's just copy the fire extinguisher. So this is going to be BP item dash cleaning sponge. This is our second fire extinguisher liquid. Yeah, sure, we'll reuse that. Because we're gonna need some soap. Please stop doing that. Stop that right now. Okay. We're gonna need some soap. We're gonna have to like clean, we're gonna have to put soap around, you know? That's gonna have to be part of the fun. Yes. Yes. Am I a little over my head? A little bit. Tad bit over my head, but that's okay. Let's make an item for this real quick. We'll duplicate the fire extinguisher. Item underscore cleaning sponge. The item name is a sponge. It's going to be the sponge. It's going to be the same scale. And the item equipable is going to be the sponge. Sponge. Default durability 60. Do we give durability to the sponge? Nah. No. Let's just do no durability for the sponge. Burn energy, not that much. Shop value, whatever. Just we'll do those things later. BP underscore item cleaning sponge. Okay, so now we should be able to spawn the sponge. Let me delete the bomb. I really hate this warning. It's pissing me off. Plunger set to simulate physics, but collision enabled is incompatible. Okay, okay, fine. I'll fix it. What? Oh, it's on begin play. Okay, so turn off simulate physics, then re-enable physics. Okay, no more warning. Don't yell at me ever again. Where's my sponge? The sponge is not spawning yet. Hold on. Do I need to do something else for the sponge? I forgot. Oh no. Am I just getting really unlucky with these item spawns? Oh, this is spawning a completely different system. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Spawn volume, I think, is the new one. The new and up-to-date. The new version. This should... Oh no, this might not work because it doesn't have a cabin manager. Ow, balls! I really need to make a system that just spawns one item. Okay, so we should be able to pick it up and then it should show next to us. like so. We can also shoot the fire extinguisher still because I forgot to... Okay, well, you know what? Actually, you know what? That's okay. You know what? This is kind of already working. It's using the old fire extinguisher system, but kind of already works. Although I don't really want left click to be the button, or right, I don't want right click to be the button. I kind of want left click to be the button. Maybe we just keep it. What is left click? The sponge making me crash? No. Well, not yet. Maybe we just do right click. So then that way it stays consistent with... Yeah, let's do right click. So that means we need to change this right mouse button clean. Car wash simulator. This game is everything. This game is everything. Next, before you know it, there's gonna be a table and then you do your taxes at the table. It's gonna be fucking crazy. Gotta get on a phone call, go to your account. It could be awesome. It's gonna be crazy. And then you explode. In game. And if you calculate it wrong, the IRS throws you off the train and you die. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right, hold on. I kind of like the location that that was set to. I'm kind of cool with that. The show's still going. I'm kind of fucking hungry. I'm kind of getting sick of you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I want to get out of here. Okay, why is the grab location wrong for our thingy? Why is the grab location shit? And why is the collision so crazy? Why does it have to be... whatever, sure, fine. Fine, Unreal, you win this one. Why is the grab location all kinds of off? Oh, I see. I see. Okay, now, watch this. So, ideally, whatever it's hitting, we want to keep the location rotation. Okay, it still has the exact same code as the fire extinguisher, which means it explodes. You shake it long enough. I see. Yeah, okay. Should delete that. Good idea. But that means, yeah, should delete that. Probably should. But I kind of, no, we shouldn't keep that. It should not explode if you move it too much. Alright, well, we got lots of work to do on this. But I kind of like it being an item, because now we could just do anything with that. You see this guy? You see this guy? Hey, come over here. I'm going to wash you. You see this toilet? You know what I mean? You could do anything. Now, what sucks is there's no soft body physics, but, you know, whatever. Who cares? What do you think this is? AAA? Fuck. He's not he needs to stand still. He's moving really fast. Stop it! He's fine now. It's on me! Oh shit! Get it off! You know, it's on. Hey! How did that happen? Get it off of me! I literally can't get it off. The hell was that? Oh, it's still on me. Someone get it off. Whatever. This train is all kinds of fucked. Although I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like the orange lights. Maybe we go back to the orange lights for the actual train. Because the orange lights just looks a lot nicer. I ain't gonna lie. So, we got a sponge. A sponge item. Which means we can now clean things. Yeah. Oh, what? I can't attach the plunger to the dirty plane? Why not? Oh, well, whatever. I guess that's a good thing. Don't look at me like that. If you know what's best for you. Whatever. Alright. Good stream. I don't even know what we did today. Did nothing. We put a sponge in. Worked a little bit more on the toilet. We added hearing perception. Hearing. Yeah. There needs to be lonely slop. Don't worry, I'm gonna make this game work in single player. Made a quick little sponge model. I think it would be really cool. Okay, hear me out. Crazy idea. Okay, crazy, really stupid, crazy idea. Okay, really crazy, stupid idea. We take the collision of the sponge, we shrink it down, similar to what we did with the plunger, and then we can make it use a shader to morph, to look like it's got physics. You're making a single player version? I'm gonna try to make the game compatible as solo. I think that's one thing that there's some friendslop games. I think this game could do very well solo. Obviously, you're missing out on the multiplayer elements, but I think it could still work quite well as a standalone, just on its own. People playing solo. And I think that would be a good idea. So I will probably try to make it work in solo. If that means we have to give a tool to the player so that they can actually like play better, then yeah. If that also could mean that some enemy behavior might have to be different, or they just don't spawn at all. But I think we could probably just adjust their behavior to be a little bit different. Dude, I think we could make this sponge super sick. I think we could make it have a little bit of physics. Like, one thing we can do already is just for one, simplify the collision, bring it in, and this is already probably pretty close to like at least making it feel like not a brick, you know? It's still a brick, but like we can make it feel less like a brick. Make it feel a little squishy. Yeah. Now, how would we go about doing that? Haven't really planned out that part yet. Yeah. Can't you just do the same thing you did with the plunger? It would be a little bit more complex because now we're looking at it in a way where it's like the entire sponge is now able to morph. Like the top could morph, the bottom could morph, the sides. So that'll be interesting. Unless I do like a really basic system where it's like when you're like, maybe it just like it like squishes and then fattens. You know, that could be one way of doing it. This really does feel like My Summer Car, but as a friendslop game on a train. It kind of feels like that. It really does feel like that. Maybe distance field in WPO. We could use distance fields if the player has it enabled. So I guess if they don't have a distance field enabled, we just disable this effect altogether then. Which I found, I don't know if this is in UE4, because I had to do a whole different system. There's a switch now in shaders, super sick. There's a switch in here that allows you to check if the player has distance field enabled, which I think is this. It's so sick. I had to do a weird fucking thing in UE4 to do this. Now, I could be wrong, and maybe this is in UE4, and I'm just stupid and came up with my own solution that was completely unnecessary. Anyways, I'm going to go. We'll continue this, I think tomorrow, maybe. Maybe, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe I don't stream tomorrow. I don't know. I might or might not stream tomorrow. So on that note, if I'm not here tomorrow, have a great weekend. Maybe I'm here on the weekend. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Perhaps. I don't know. Yeah. Have I tried any image to 3D AI model? I don't really care for it personally. All right. Goodbye. Have a good one. Sponge action next stream.